to Café Anyway.
Mike's Daily Podcast.
This is Café Anyway, somewhere in PodCastro Valley, the last place on earth in the land of Meritopica. And it is episode
Mike's Daily Podcast
2920, 2920. How are you doing? We've done a lot of shows. We've done plenty. And we like it when people stop by and listen to the beginning of the show. And their name's Eddie, because when we do the show, people listen and then they go, oh, I think that's a bizarre show podcast thing. And then they go, oh, it's unbelievable. Maybe they say that.
Mike's Daily Podcast.
Maybe they say something very 90s-ish like that. I don't know. But thank you for listening to the podcast today. You know, we're talking
Mike's
Oreos.
Daily
Oreos.
Podcast.
Oreo.
Yeah!
They're counting on limited edition cookies like it's Coca-Cola flavor. What? Coca-Cola and Oreo cookies? Is that? I thought it was that song. Oh, 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 an ice cold milk and an Oreo cookie. They forever go together. They're the classic combination with the nice cookies. It's sensation. Da 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 da. Oreo keeps your milk from getting lonely. Keeps your milk from getting lonely. That was a big jingle when I was a kid. Why didn't that how did it go from milk to Coca-Cola? Wait. I know how. Laverne and Shirley, Schmeasel, Schmazel's Pop Incorporated thing. They did it. They did it because Penny Marshall's character, Laverne, would take or was she Shirley? Laverne. And then she would pour the Coca-Cola into the milk. And we tried that for a little bit and went, wait a minute. No. No. Because if you're both lactose intolerant, and let's just say the bubbles in Coke give you gas, of course, then you're in all kinds of intestinal issues land. So somehow that's how that morphed. So Oreo's hoping that people will go with the Coca-Cola flavor.
And here's today's podcast picture.
And drive new customers to the new... Hey, the podcast picture's not of Oreos or of Coca-Cola or Laverne and Shirley or any other sitcom from the 1970s. It is skeletons and an interesting Halloween display that was put up by some folks here in PodCastro Valley. See that cool picture and all the past podcast pictures I've done at mikesdailypodcast.com. Just to warn you, there's about 2,920 of them, just because there are. And I'm also on Instagram. A lot of them are up on there as well. So people go to the snack aisle. Oh, the late great Basil the Boxer. He walked past this particular house in PodCastro Valley all the time with me. So, yes, we have lots of great memories going up this street in PodCastro Valley. All over PodCastro Valley. Basil was often seen. But, in fact, the snack aisle, why? Why do we go to the snacks are ridiculous. If you're going to have some kind of sweet food, why go with this weird processed thing? Why don't you just go down to the donut store? Go down to the... I'm saying there's a donut store near you. Now, when I lived in Huntsville, Alabama, I remember it was very difficult to find donuts. There was one donut place near me. Then I moved to PodCastro Valley. I go from Alabama to Alameda County, and I am surrounded by donut shops. Everywhere you go, there's a donut shop. It's absolute bliss for policemen and women, and they go and get their donuts. And I used to go get an apple fritter.
Now that's legit.
An apple fritter over there at Rudy's, and after a while, it just really... I said to myself, I need to lose a few. And you eat one of those, and all day you're like, hey, because there's so much sugar, which provides your body with energy, electricity, and all that other fun stuff. So it's too much sugar. No donuts. I try and cut that out. But people go to the snack aisle. It's a thing. People get snacks. If you're a parent, you're feeding your kids snacks, and you shouldn't be, because then they learn bad habits and they become parents that give their kids snacks, and they're unhealthy, fat kids like I was growing up. In fact, 28% of people who buy these Oreos haven't bought regular Oreos. 28% of people who buy the Coca-Cola Oreos haven't bought the regular Oreos. That's odd. They don't even know what regular Oreos are. Maybe they would find out if someone did a TikTok video about it. Because apparently that's how all the young people learn things, is through TikTok. Bad financial advice is on TikTok. Don't call it FinTok.
I can't believe. What the hell is this place anyway?
It's not very helpful, FinTok, with the talking that it does on TikTok and the advice it gives you. 27% of users of TikTok say they have fallen for financial advice on social media that turned out to be false. I guess that's all social media, not just TikTok. But 27% of social media users say they have taken the wrong road. They've made the wrong decision. They were taken for a ride. Gold. The price of gold keeps climbing. It is, as of this recording, just over $2,657 per troy ounce. That's how they call that. Oh, hey, hold on. I got to end this video early, and because I was videoing on... I'll be right back.
Later that day.
Troy ounce. Mortgage refinancing in the U.S. nearly tripled from a year ago as the average 30-year rate fell below 6%. People are getting on that mortgage train, trying to get a better mortgage. And speaking of other money things, Wall Street is warming. What? Warming to nuclear power. Big tech.
Anyway.
Here at Café Anyway, our big tech is our computer that's not very big tech. Quantum, it's not a quantum computer. Those, fascinating idea, scary, because if it works, if we go outside of Café Anyway, where we bring you Mike's Daily Podcast somewhere in Podcastro Valley, the last place on earth, in the land of Ameritopica, if for some reason that takes off, whoever will have the quantum computer will be able to break just about any code, any, cryptic decryption. It'll be able to decrypt like crazy. So your password, it'll be able to figure it out. That's what I found out watching on YouTube. What was it? Was it something from Bloomberg or possibly public broadcasting? Or perhaps it was even the Canadian news network. But that was interesting. Okay, so big tech, we'll see with that. Big tech is getting excited about nuclear power to power the AI data centers. The market expects a tripling in the world's nuclear energy capacity.
Good morning, Mr. Matthews.
Thank you, children. Did you use AI to write all your papers today? Okay, it figures. Tripling. There's going to be a tripling in the world's nuclear energy capacity by 2050. 2050. It'll just be like the 50s all over again in 2050. Nuclear, does that mean everybody is going to be driving around in their cars and listening to she-bop, bip-bop, doo-wop music, doo-wop? The type of music like the Elvis music? And you get the malts and the burgers and you have the diet that makes sure that you don't make it past 50? That kind of music, is that's gonna get popular in the 50s? Actually, that music made a comeback in the 80s. That's why you had Billy Joel doing a 50s album. And there was the popularity of the Stray Cats. And all the, somebody, like, even Neil Young was doing like a 50s thing. There was Greece. Well, Greece was more late 70s. Nuclear takes time to plan, while yet huge demand is coming down the line for AI data centers. Microsoft will reopen one reactor at the 3 Mile Island nuclear power plant, which is fascinating because speaking of the 70s and the incident that happened at 3 Mile Island, in fact, there was a song.
You ready?
I'm ready to tell you. The Clash did. London Calling. Yes, a nuclear error, but I have no fear. That whole nuclear error thing was referring to 3 Mile Island and the accident there, which later led to that movie. Oh, what was the movie with Jane Fonda and Jack Lemmon? The China Syndrome. That's what it was. And Michael Douglas. So in all that hysteria that was going on in the 70s, the Clash wrote the song London Calling. It was a little bit about that and about the Thames River overflowing. I live by the river. So the other lyrics to that song are not popping into my head, but Microsoft wants to get back into that world, I guess, and reopen one reactor at 3 Mile Island Nuclear Power Plant. And this is for AI to power the artificial intelligence. I don't know if you've been using it or not, but Microsoft has it in their Bing and in their Edge. So they're using it. They're allowing you to use the ChatGPT quite a bit. Oracle is building a data center powered by 3 small nuclear reactors. And Sam Altman-backed nuclear startup Oklo is going to try to start site work for an Idaho microreactor. Wow. Rolls-Royce has small modular reactor.
Oh, wow, that's wild.
Yeah, isn't that wild? Rolls-Royce, of all things, the car maker, driving the Rolls-Royce and looking all spiffy. You get out with your cane and your monocle and your top hat. Rolls-Royce has small modular reactor designs and has secured development from the British government. Bum, 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 bum. And TerraPower, a company co-founded by Bill Gates, back to Microsoft again, is planning a new nuclear power plant in Wyoming. Dang. So that's all that going on in Wyoming. Dang. And I tried that. So Google's trying to push on you Gemini. They've got the Gemini bot that will talk to you if you use the Google Messenger app. And it acts as an AI. It'll answer questions for you. Just another way. Just like the Grok thing with the AI, with the X. I don't know if X or Google are getting their own nuclear power plants.
Bison Bentleys. Do you know that?
Hey, this is Bison Bentley, and Mike Matthews has a couple of stories that'll make you want to ask yourself, do you know that? Do you know that?
All that is interesting. Do you know that? I don't know about Meta. Meta's got their own AI, and Zuckerberg's previewing Meta's newest tech for you and your face. The Meta Connect conference featured new hardware and product features. The Orion prototype AR glasses, most advanced glasses the world has ever seen. That is augmented reality AR glasses. The glasses use eye tracking and a wrist strap from the size. It's about the size of a Fitbit. And I used Fitbit when it first came out. It was this little thing that clamped to a piece of cloth that had Velcro on it. And it was able to stay on your wrist with that.
Later that day.
All right, that's the second time that's happened on the show. Let me explain what just happened. So I'm doing the podcast. I'm bringing you stories. By the way, all that from Rob Black. I produce his podcast. He's heard on AM 1220 KDOW weekday mornings, and then he is on Cron TV Monday through Thursday. So I keep getting interrupted by calls from my lovely lady friend, and she's on a walk right now. And she's walking along, and she's walking past this house, and in the front lawn, there's a dog just laying on the front lawn. And at first she thought the dog was sleeping. And so she went and looked, and then she calls me and says, I don't know what's up with this dog. She's just laying on the lawn, and I don't know what's happening. What should I do? I go, I said, what I would do is I'd go to that house that the dog's laying on the front lawn of and knock on the door. Maybe this dog belongs to them. This is not looking good. Someone needs to be notified. So she knocks on the door. A guy answers, and she goes, there's this dog out front on the lawn. He goes, yeah, I know, that's my dog. And she's like, oh, is she injured? And he's like, the dog has cancer, and also her back legs can't move. And basically what he was saying was the dog has degenerative myelopathy, which is exactly what the late great Basil the boxer had towards the end of his life. Actually, the last 2 years of his life, he had it, and he lasted quite a while. But at the end, he couldn't even stand on his front legs. He was able to, for about a year, walk on his front 2 legs. And I got a harness, which you can get on Amazon. There's quite a few different harness makers that you can get, or I'm sure if you did a Google search, you could maybe go to someone's actual website, so you don't have to go to Amazon's website and give them all the money that they get, like they need more money. But anyway, Café Anyway, I got this harness for Basil, and I was able to walk him and get him some exercise and still do some fun things with him. But this dog basically was going through the same thing that Basil had went through. So my lovely lady friend just called me to tell me that that's what it was. At first I got the call, there's a dog laying down on the lawn in front of this house. What do I do? I go, well, knock on the door. Maybe someone knows. So she went to do that. And then she just called me back to say the story about the degenerative myelopathy that this dog had. And the dog also has cancer. So it's sad. And you know what? Degenerative myelopathy is a thing that a lot of dog owners, they discover, sadly, that their dog has. And someone up the street actually had a boxer that also had it, that actually Basil knew this dog, Duke. And Duke also got the degenerative myelopathy. And so they got a harness for him where I was able to walk him around. Anyway, Café Anyway, I told her to stop bothering me. No, but that's a thing that I think I jest. But there is a lot of heroic things that dog owners are doing out there. And I think they should be commended. It's very difficult for a dog owner to express the pain they're going through, the absolute heartache they're going through. Because a lot of people joke about it, like all this Haitian mockery that's going on right now from a certain person running for president. But then I know a lot of people on the left that make fun of it too. They're making fun of the whole thing. And it's like, you know what? First off, these are someone's pets. And let's never mind that whole topic. That's a whole thing that you've heard ad infinitum. Ad infinitum. But here's the thing. I'm just saying, I applaud the dog owners out there that are amazing dog owners that go above and beyond for their little furry friends. And they suffer in silence oftentimes because they know they'll get laughed at. It's a joke. It's like, oh, it's just a dog. But the dog becomes a part of the family. And that's not a sign of weakness for humans. There is a reason why over time dogs and cats have become so synergistic with us. We share a lot of things. We even share chromosomes. We even share bits of DNA between us and these animal counterparts. And there's a reason why they have come to be able to live with us and be family. So the superiority complex that I get from a lot of people that don't like pets really irritates me. And if you are someone that is going through a tough time because your dog is sick or old or going through its last days, I just want to tell you my heart goes out to you. And you are amazing. And you hang in there because you are a true hero to that friend of yours. And that friend will be a friend of yours well beyond their life on this planet. And a big thank you to you. And just know that this planet, this world, is much more concerned about Haitians and about all the border and everything else. More concerned about all the other stuff in this world, and they don't really think too much about you. And I'm sorry about that, but I'm thinking about you because you're doing a lot. Anyway, Café Anyway, what else are they talking about? They're talking about wristbands that are able to, what's this? it's this thing that Zuckerberg's come up with. The Meta Connect conference. They're talking about these augmented reality glasses. They use eye tracking and a wrist strap about the size of a Fitbit, and it allows users to navigate apps with gestures and movements. This goes back to the Google Glass. Remember that? About 15 years ago now? I don't know if people are going to they don't really get used to stuff when they're wearing it on their eyes. They didn't like it when the Peter Capaldi Doctor Who had the sonic sunglasses. It's not, I don't know. I don't see it taking off. I've seen it fail before. The wristband will work with some of Meta's other hardware. Now, wristbands tend to work. I see everybody with an Apple Watch these days. Its popular Ray-Ban Meta glasses will soon be able to translate conversations in real time between English and French, Italian, or Spanish. And Meta is also releasing the Quest 3S, which is a $300 version of its $650 Quest 3 VR headset. The virtual reality headsets, that's been a big thing with Zuckerberg for a long time. Meta estimates its metaverse division, which includes VR and AR tech, loses about how much? Their virtual reality and augmented reality tech loses about $16 billion annually. Yikes. Look who's here. Hello, Michael Matthews, it's Madame Rootabega, and I like that very heartfelt speech you gave about pets and the pet owners that go out of their way for their pets, Michael Matthews. Ooh. Thank you, Madame Rootabega. Yeah, I was just trying to express from my heart how I get so frustrated with the people in this world that are so consumed with TikTok, so consumed with the other idiocy, Coca-Cola Oreo cookies, that they don't care about how their fellow person is just barely holding it together because of what they're doing to try and keep their animal alive, their pet friend, their pet son or daughter. You know, it means a lot, and we don't need the JD Vances of the world to put down the cat moms. Taylor Swifts of the world are saying, hey, no, there's nothing wrong with the cat mamas. So cat ladies, rejoice. Dog ladies, rejoice. And dog men and cat men, you're cool too. Okay, look who else is here. Oh, did you like that other part of my speech? Yes. Do you like virtual reality headsets? Yes. Do you like Oreos? No. Okay, so no ice cold milk and an Oreo cookie for you. Look who else is here.
Hello there, Mike. This is Valentino, the parking attendant.
And this is Bison Bentley. Do you know that?
Mike, we wish that we had JD Vance's beard. There.
Yeah, his beard. Do you know that? He's gonna win. He's gonna win people to that ticket because of his beard. It could happen. What do you think? Here's the phone number.
Call Mike at the Café Anyway hotline. Area code 510-228-4640.
And with all things Mike's Daily Podcast, we go to the mainframe in here from A-Frame. Thank you for listening. Have just the best day ever. And say hello to your pet for me, will you?
Mike's Daily Podcast is written and produced and performed by Mike Matthews. His podcast is super easy to find. Download or listen to his show and read his blog at mikesdailypodcast.com.
Email Mike now at mikesdailypodcast@gmail.com.
See you tomorrow. Bye!